These are the two ties. Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is Jen Restyle and Fashion. And this week I am back with another tie upcycle. This one is super easy, super quick. You just kind of have to find the right ties to go together to create this look. And this is something that you can do with or without a sewing machine. As long as you can hand sew, you can also do it that way and it wouldn't take as much time. All right, so we're going to start off with these two ties. They are lavender and I think they're just perfect color for spring. I personally am not a fan of purple, so I'm trying to do a little more purple because of that. I realized that I think I have one purple item in my wardrobe. I thrifted a purple suit recently that you guys probably saw. But yeah, so this is going to be really easy. I am going to show you how to create a belt from two ties. All right, so you just need two ties that are just about the same size. This one you can see the darker one is a little bit bigger, wider, but that's okay. They just need to be close enough in size. If they're too different, it's probably going to be too bulky and it may not work very well. These are the two ties. All right, let's get started. All right, you guys, we're going to get started with these ties that are complementary of each other. That's my suggestion, but again, you can choose something that is completely contrasting. So what I look for if I'm going to create a belt tie, I want to make sure that the tie, one of the ties can fit comfortably inside the other tie. So you're going to flip the ties over on the wrong side and you're going to take the more narrow tie and kind of slide it into the larger tie. Now, ties that are made well sometimes have a lot of stitching on the inside, so you might have to use your seam ripper and take some stitches out of the one that you're going to use to insert the smaller tie into. So as you can see here, I slipped the tie inside and it fit quite nicely, but then I had to use pins to pin it in place. I'm doing this on my sewing machine base, but I really should be doing it on a cutting table because the tie just slid right off. See, it's just sliding off the sewing machine. But you want to pin this in place as best as possible. Try to make sure that you don't have any gaps or any spaces. I am using a thread that is going to blend well with this fabric. So even though it's lavender, I'm using purple because I'm going to need to top stitch. All right, so you're going to pin on the wrong side and then you're also going to pin it on the right side. And don't put the pins too close to the edge of the tie, the tip of the tie, because you are going to have to stitch. And my suggestion is do not remove the pins while you are trying to sew, because the pins are going to keep everything in place. All right, so I did have to go in and rethread my sewing machine and all of that. But what I'm doing is I'm doing an edge stitch. I've talked about an edge stitch before on this channel. I will reference one of my how-to videos, but I start at the tip and then I edge stitch to the edge and back stitch when I get to the edge. And then I flip it over and then I do the same thing. I'm edge stitching from one end to the next. And you may have to manipulate the fabrics a little bit because sometimes it does kind of move around a little bit, but that's why it's important to keep those pins in there as long as you can. And then you can just do a little bit of a back stitch when you get to the end, just a little bit. You can lift the foot, but keep the needle down and sew to the edge. Now this may take a little practice, but when you're edge stitching, remember you're very close to the edge of that part of the tie. And then you should have like a triangle, not triangle, like a diamond shaped stitch on the right side. Okay, you see how that looks? You can see a little bit of the indentation on the front side, which is perfectly fine. But it's a nice clean finish. What are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button below and click on that bell so that you don't miss an episode. All right, let's get back to this video. Now, left over from the pandemic, I have all of these brooches and pendants, and I have so many, you guys, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. I literally have a bin of these pendants from the same company because they were buy one, get one free. They were so inexpensive during the pandemic. So I bought tons of them. And so I'm just now figuring out how to add them to different garments. So anyway, I'm using this one because I like the way the pearls look against the lavender. I think it is a very classy look. This particular pendant, or it's not really a pendant, it's more of a brooch, but I don't even think it's a brooch because it doesn't have a pin on it. I had to hand stitch this on. So I'm hand stitching, and I will post a link to this particular embellishment below. I don't know if Joann still has it, but I did get it from Joann's Fabrics, and they have lots to select from. So I stitched at each corner down. I didn't want this moving around at all. I don't want to get it caught on anything. So I am using my needle and thread to stitch down at the corners on both sides, and then I eventually go in and I stitch towards the bottom and in the middle. I go in on the back and I reinforce a few times because this, for lack of a better word, this brooch or embellishment, if you will, is pretty hefty. So it does have some weight behind it, and I know that it's going to need to be secured very well. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to stitch right here at the other end and do some reinforcement stitches. I think my thread broke here, so I had to go back and rethread my needle. And I'm just going to tell y'all, threading a needle these days is not like it used to be when I was a young seamstress. I think I need to buy a needle threader. And now I see why my great grandmother was using a needle threader, because after a while your eyes are just not as good as they used to be. And I know I need glasses. All right, so once that's all done, I did buy these pearls from Joann's. They come in assorted sizes in a package. I will link them below. Again, I bought these buy one get one free over the pandemic, and when I tell y'all I have been putting pearls on everything, I've literally put pearls on everything. So I space them sporadically across the belt, and voila, once I go in and reinforce them, I'm pretty much done, and I really like the way this turned out. Well, if you made it this far to the end of the video, then you're here for the special bonus tie upcycle. So you're going to create this tie the same way you did the other one, but we're going to wrap it around our waist and tie it to the side, just like we would have any kind of waist tie belt. And then I'm going to loosen it up and retie it into a knot. And then I'm going to take one tail of the tie, and I'm going to start to twist it around into a rose. So basically a rose tie. And it's just a little something different to do with your belted tie that you create, and I just think it looks really nice. All right, you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.